Hi everyone, this is Jacqueline Tasker here to discuss storytelling with data, the effectiveness and evaluation of UK school libraries. Now let's discuss the need for evidence. Many school libraries in the United Kingdom use school library systems to aid in collection development. School library systems allow librarians to lease materials on long-term loan rather than purchasing them, which saves thousands, makes weeding easier, and keeps collections fresh, current, and appealing to students and staff alike. However, budget cuts have forced many school libraries to discontinue their school library system subscriptions. On top of that, many librarians don't have the time or support to keep their digital resources up to date, and some UK schools, just like in the US, don't even have qualified librarians. Every librarian, all of us, can help the future of librarianship by collecting evidence to document our effectiveness. Now, the essential question is not how many, but who learned. That's from a paper by Kramer and Diekman, published in 2010. We may know that higher test scores appeal to stakeholders like administrators or board members, and number of classes taught shows what the librarian is actually doing on their annual reports, but qualitative feedback is more powerful because it captures the audience and tells a story. So what kind of qualitative feedback are we looking for, and what is evidence-based practice? In Ross Todd's 2015 feature in the periodical Knowledge Quest, he outlines 3 different types of evidence-based practice, and how librarians can use them to improve their practice and transform their libraries. Now, even if you are not going into school librarianship, I recommend that you read this article. The full citation can be found at the end of my presentation in my reference slides. Now, the 3 types of evidence are evidence for practice. This is using existing empirical research to discuss the need for a library program or something similar, and it's informational. Evidence in practice combines existing research with local community knowledge and professional experience. This can be transformational for a practice. Finally, and what most of this presentation will focus on, is evidence of practice. This uses local data to show change and evaluate the effectiveness of programs, and this can be formational. Before we get deep into the evidence, let's talk about UK school librarian priorities. Streetfield Shaper and Ray Scott interviewed UK school librarians to determine what their highest priorities were, what they were able to accomplish in their schools, and what their school library programs looked like. They found that many librarians do not have the support they need and are not able to teach comprehensive digital citizenship, which they deem a priority. In fact, some of them said equipping students to operate efficiently in the cyber age was a high top priority for them. So how can we make sure they get the tools they need? A number of surveys have sought to evaluate school libraries on a deeper level. The first one I will discuss is done by Lucy Gildersleeves in 2014, or published in 2014. Her survey of school libraries in all 4 UK nations used evidence of practice and qualitative data to evaluate the effectiveness of the school library programs and how they prepare students for university. Some students she spoke with made astute observations about the skills they learned through library instruction, but many subject teachers in secondary schools were unaware of what the school librarians could do for their classes. One quote I pulled out that I particularly liked was from a Year 12 girl who said, "In history, we've been shown how to use our research to write our own paper and not just copy. We had a lesson from the librarian on how to put together a bibliography. We will need these skills at university." Next, I'm going to discuss a report on school libraries in Scotland. This is also evidence of practice, and this report concluded that robust school librarians are correlated with higher test scores, better grades, and positive attitudes towards learning, among other things. The report also gave recommendations on what a robust school library program looks like. In case you're wondering, these elements are a full-time qualified librarian who has decision-making authority and support staff who can manage routine tasks so the librarian can focus on curriculum, collaboration with subject teachers, and instruction. Librarians also need to practice judicious collection development, of course, collaboration with teachers. They must have physical and digital access to library resources with physical building hours before and after school, and a diverse collection that supports the curriculum and students' pleasure reading needs. Finally, it is absolutely essential that current networked technology throughout the building connects the library with students and teachers, and library instruction supports the curriculum and information literacy. The third survey we're going to take a look at was of a single school located in northern England. This survey discussed the school library and why it should be there with 245 students. It was found that students believed schools should have libraries because they're great places to read, gather, study, and research, among other things. However, they had no knowledge of source evaluation and stunted information literacy skills, and they thought the library was not tech-savvy at all. Some students even said the library is the place to go if you're not comfortable with computers because you don't have to use a computer there. While that may be true, they don't know that you can learn how to use a computer in a library or can learn digital research skills. Unfortunately, this school did not have a full-time librarian. My conclusion of the research that I did for this paper is that librarians help students learn and help teachers teach. Sure, we already knew that, but by collecting data in our practice, like testimonials, student work, student assessments, we can show how important we can be and the monumental impact we can make on people's lives to stakeholders in our community who don't know this yet. Thank you.